The listener asked, and well, the listener shall receive. Welcome to this week's episode of the Advisor Mentorship Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Houser, Vice President here at InsurMark. And while our industry is coming off a record year for 2022, today I am joined by no other than one of the recognized leaders in our space, founder of InsurMark, Steve Kerns. How are we doing today, Steve?
Jeremy, I am doing great, and thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. And to the listener, some of you may recognize that voice as you've heard him last year on episode 10. Also, several of you, myself included, are very fortunate that Steve no longer sells Subway sandwiches and subs, because by him starting InsurMark, not only do I have a job, but many of us listeners here are actually in business with Steve. So thank you, Steve, for that.
I am glad to not have to make submarine sandwiches anymore. So that's great.
Well, to kick off things, so I mentioned 2022. So the industry did great. Final numbers aren't necessarily in as we record today, but how did things go for InsurMark in 2022?
2022, our 39th year in business was the very best year we ever had. We had a fabulous year in 2022. And so we're all grateful. I know you're grateful for that, and as we are, and we're grateful for your advisors as well, who have chosen to partner with us. So we're humbled by that choice by them to do that.
Yeah, and so the industry did great. InsurMark, so that's incredible. And for those that missed that, so 39 years of InsurMark being in business, that's very rare, I would say. Wouldn't you say, Steve, in our business, that organizations?
Less than a handful have been around that long.
So to say the best year in over 39 years really goes to something had to been going right last year. So what do you attribute some of the growth for 2022 with InsurMark? What can you point to a couple things, one thing, what went right for InsurMark last year?
I would say there's a number of things. I would say number one, the economic tailwinds or headwinds, if you will, the volatility that our country went through economically. We have historically at InsurMark done very well in years when there has been economic volatility. As you know, and as your advisors know, we are a business of guarantees. Products that we provide are of tax deferral and guarantees and safe money solutions. And when there's a lot of volatility and uncertainty out there, many consumers flock to what we provide to them. So that would be one of the major things. Another would be, I think, what we have to offer at InsurMark now for the advisor. We are much more than just a product provider. As you well know, and your advisors know, we have evolved and developed into an advisor development organization. Yes, we have product. We literally have just about every product that any advisor would need in the fixed indexed annuity world, the life insurance world, the asset-based long-term care world. We have all of that, but what we have evolved into is to helping the advisor develop his business, his practice, to help them grow their practice for succession or transition or sale. And so that's I think that's another reason. And I don't know if we're going to get into some of the resources that we have here at InsurMark later in this, but we can do that. But anyway, I would say economic volatility, the economic uncertainty in the country. I think all of our value proposition that we provide is another reason. And then to wrap it all up would be just and I say this very humbly, and even with you on the screen right here, just the incredible partners and colleagues that we have at InsurMark. Just an incredible group of people that are very servant oriented, they carry out our mission of providing, being a fiduciary, a product fiduciary, providing the best products, and we provide the best service, but we just have an incredibly talented group of people here at InsurMark. Not only your colleagues on the consulting side, but our back office support is literally second to none.
Oh, well said. And I already know who your favorite employee is of InsurMark. It's Becky Kerns. So we don't have to say any names. I know
she is not my employee. She is my boss.
Oh, your boss. Sorry.
Yes.
So as InsurMark listeners hear this, just want to make that clear. And so what goes up must come down, right? Or where do you see the FIA industry going for 2023 with the year it had last year?
I am extremely optimistic. The final numbers aren't in for 2022, but it looks like the year-over-year growth in 2022 is going to fall somewhere between 17 and 23 or 24% growth year over year, depending on who you're talking to, whether it's LIMRA or Beacon or Cheryl Moore or whoever, but let's call it 20. And I've chatted with all those entities and had them look into their crystal ball, with all of our carrier partners, and as they have planned for 2023, and they're all looking for just about the same level of growth. I've heard as low as 16% growth in 2023, and I've heard as high as 25% growth in 2023. So as we are battling inflation in this country, as we are staring a possible light recession in our face, I think we're going to be a great haven for people's hard-earned retirement dollars. So I think 2023 is going to be a great year. So I would just tell all your advisors to just buckle up and work as hard as they did in 2022 and do the same in 2023. Make hay while the sun shines is the thing I would say.
Yeah, and if I heard you there, and it seems like the chatter amongst the advisors that I talk to weekly, daily, it's really 2023 is positioning protection, which you've already articulated earlier. That's really where we serve a lot of advisors, is just having a safe haven protection for them. Well, so we talk a little bit about product, and we'll jump into, sounds like a great year for 2023 for advisors that have the right systems and processes in place. What would be any advice, or what are some of the best opportunities for an advisor in 2023 that might be able to add on from 2022, in your opinion, based off of what you know of the industry and also what InsurMark might be bringing on too?
What to add to their practice, or to bring to their customers?
To their practice.
Yeah. I mean, marketing resource wise, at least, I mean, we have, you relay this to us, all your colleagues, we have so much to offer the advisor out there. I heard I heard something that's really good, but at the same time, it's not good. I heard an advisor say, "You guys have so much to offer me for my business that it's so overwhelming. I just don't do anything." Right. And that's not good for me to hear. So we need to. We've gotten too many resources out there, and as you know, we've whittled a lot of stuff down to the things that really work. The one thing that we have invested a lot of money in, and that is in technology, financial technology. Mm-hmm. As you know, and I'm assuming your core advisors know about Clara, our end-to-end digital first, human centric technology platform. I would say that that would be something that all of your advisors should take a look at, besides the other technology initiatives that we've brought on over the last 2 or 3 years. Just as an example for your advisors to hear, just the growth of our e-apps. That, I mean, we've gone in the last 3 or 4 years, and and you know this, we were really one of the first organizations to really embrace electronic applications, and we faced a lot of resistance from older advisors like me, my age, said, hey, I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep doing paper and paper and paper and paper. And you know this, but we announced we had 42% of all of our applications were submitted electronically. That's extremely high. Mm-hmm. And we're shooting for over 50, and you know this, we're shooting for over 50% this upcoming year. So technology is making things more efficient, making them easier. And the bottom line is you get paid faster. And that's a big thing. So I would encourage your listeners to, if they're not already, to really begin to embrace technology, electronic applications. It is a time saver. You'll write more business. You'll get paid faster. You'll be amazed at how your life will be different. So anyway, that's just one thing. Besides all the other, I mean, we're gonna we haven't announced yet, but we have some incredible coaching programs that we're going to roll out here probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks, at our Founders Club event. And just literally one of the number one financial services coach in America is now partnering with us, and that we're gonna bring to you, your advisors, all the InsurMark advisors. So great coaching, great training, great lead and prospecting resources, and then again, the financial technology and great product. It used to be, I remember, I've been doing it a long time. It was always product, and product is what we provide, and it's what we use to solve solutions. But it's not. If you have a financial services practice, it's got to be about more than product. Okay, mm-hmm. You've got to build a business, and that's what we have evolved into at InsurMark. You know that. As I said, we're an advisor development organization, and we can help your advisors develop what they might think is their agency really more into a business and into a practice.
And the feedback's been great. The advisors I've spoken to, Jack and the team, we launched that Level Up webinar a couple weeks back, and overwhelmingly a lot of good information from not just Jonah Berger, the author of Catalyst. You got Clara, the rollout of the financial technology. Advisors are just through the roof ecstatic about some of the unique competitive advantages as an advisor they'll have at point of sale because of Clara. Is something that the advisors who are already using it, they've been using it for months with our beta testing group, are raving about it, managing their business more efficiently when it comes to policy renewals. But really what you hit on is the mentorship and having somebody there to really help an advisor scale and possibly have an exit strategy, I think is something new in the conversations I'm having with advisors. That's something that's new to InsurMark, to really have someone who can coach an advisory firm to grow efficiently and possibly have an exit plan, as a lot of our advisors, 39 years of doing it, are getting to that point to maybe having succession plans. So I think you're spot on with that. But you did mention Founders Club. So several of the people on listening maybe right now might actually be joining us in Houston in March, who actually achieved the opportunity to attend Founders Club. So talk to the audience a little bit about what is Founders Club, and how did InsurMark decide to come up with this club?
Very excited about Founders Club. we for years I have thought that we've lacked a beginning of year kickoff event to bring all of our top advisors in. And so it took me about a year to figure this thing out. And so what we wanted was an event at the beginning of the year, probably every late January, early February. And this year we're going to have it the first week of March for a reason I'll tell you about in a moment here. But we have found a tremendous amount of benefit when we bring our advisors together, where they can share best practices, and we do that through periodic trainings throughout the year. We do it at our family reunion event every fall. But the family reunion event is really more of a thank you and a reward and a time of getting together and relaxation and fellowship and a little bit of business. But the Founders Club is going to be all about mentorship, all about coaching, all about training, and to get everybody a good head start, a good kickoff to the year. And I am really pumped about our inaugural Founders Club event. It's going to be, we set a certain production level to receive an invitation into Founders Club. I won't go over it in your podcast here, but there's going to be some pretty special benefits by being in Founders Club over and above the other, couple thousand advisors that we have. But there's going to be a lot of great benefits. We're going to have an incredible agenda of platform speakers and coaches, and we of course will have vendors and carriers that'll be present, during breaks and non-platform time and things of that nature. I'll touch on why we're doing it in March. As you know, being a resident of Houston and myself, you and I know that the biggest event in this city every year is the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. I mean, it's a worldwide event for 3 weeks. Literally, people come from all around the world. And it's it is the largest donator of college scholarships in the world, in volume and in number. And it's just a tremendous event. And we're going to have our first Founders Club event during the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And so we're going to have our Founders Club agenda during the day, and then one evening we're going to go to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And it's, when you hear rodeo, it's not it's not cowboy, it's a rodeo, but it is, it's 75,000 people at a packed out concert after the rodeo. It's one of the most unique events in the world. And so we wanted our first Founders Club to be something different, unique, and special. And so I said, this year, let's wait till March. But every year thereafter, and we're going to do the Founders Club every year, and you're going to have to hit a certain level to get an invitation to the Founders Club, because we're going to be giving you a lot of bennies and a lot of special things that 95% of our distribution is not going to get. And so anyway, so the long answer to your question is we wanted a kickoff event of the year, but we wanted something that was going to really benefit benefit their business and their practice, for them to take home after a 2-night, 2-day event. So we're gonna do that March 5th. Everybody comes in on the 5th of March and leaves on the 7th, and everybody's back to work. So we're excited about it. I hope you're excited about it too.
Oh yeah.
You got a lot of advisors coming. So
and feedback's been exactly how you explained. just articulated there. It's been great. Every advisor, I get all type of answers of rodeo. So people in Pennsylvania, people in different parts of
Wait
the
till they
US.
see the rodeo. Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, they're excited about it, and I'm really excited about not just seeing their opportunity to see the experience, but the speakers we have at the Founders Club and advisors on stage who use our resources, who can tell their story. And that's really where the rubber meets the road. And I think it's going to be all around a great experience. Looking forward to it in Houston. But it seems like you're just an event planner nowadays. So what else happens later on this year? We're in our 40th year anniversary too.
Yeah.
So so InsurMark celebrates its 40th year. And as a business owner, so one question I'd have is, what goes through your mind hearing that this is actually going to be your 40th year anniversary for you and Becky for InsurMark?
Number one, I am grateful to God for the blessing of this business. I never going to college right after I never thought this is what I was going to. I was either going to be a lawyer or a sports broadcaster. And here I am, a distributor of financial service products, and for 40 years. So God had a different plan for me, and I'm grateful for that. I am beyond grateful for the blessings that have been bestowed upon me and my family. And I'm 40 years. Becky and I talk about it a lot, and we were just young kids when we started this. I was 29 years old when this thing started in 1983, and I was a retail life insurance producer. And it's been a tremendous journey. It's just been a great journey. I've learned so much about life, about people, about relationships. And I'm very proud of the legacy. And that's, as I have gotten older and have had children, and now have had 3 grandchildren in the last 30 months, it just proves that life is like a book. Every chapter is different. And now I'm in the legacy chapters. And so I look at things differently than I did when I was 29, 39, 49, 59. But I still love this business. I love this company. I love the people that work at InsurMark. I love the Jeremy Housers of the world. I love to see where you came from, what you've become. One of the absolute leaders of our organization. And if I can spill the beans, I'll tell your audience that yesterday that you were named the 2022 Sales Employee of the Year. Congratulations to that, buddy.
Thank you.
And you should be very proud of that. I'm very proud of you for that. You will have become a rock star, not only at our company, but in the industry. And so your advisors should feel incredibly grateful and blessed to be able to have a partnership and a working relationship with you, because you go above and beyond. You're servant oriented, and you want nothing but the best for your people. So anyway, but yeah, I'm just grateful, Jeremy. I'm grateful for 40 years, grateful for good health. I married way above myself. I outkicked my coverage. And I'm just grateful for all the people that have helped build this great organization. And while a lot of guys want to retire at 69, I'm not one of those kind of guys. I love working. I love adding value. I tell you one thing, and I've thought about, what when we were you asked me to do this, and I think the one thing that why I've been motivated for 40 years is I think everybody needs a purpose. Everybody needs a purpose when they wake up in the morning. And if you don't have a purpose, then all you're going to do is flounder, I think. But I woke up pretty much every day for the last 40 years and I had a purpose. And that purpose was to serve people. And that purpose was to make other people's lives better through the stuff that I do. And that's distributing great retirement products, great legacy planning products, now great asset-based long-term care products. And so that gives me motivation. When we have a purpose, like, I know what one of your purposes is, because I hired you when you were a young, single, smart aleck guy. And and now you also outkicked your coverage. You way over married yourself. She's your purpose. And those two sweet little ones of yours, Patrick and Olivia, are your purpose. But you also care for your advisors and you care for their well-being. And that's why you're successful. And I think if all of our advisors had that purpose every day and cared more about their customers than they care about themselves, they would be highly, highly successful. Is it about money? You need money. You need money to afford your standard of living, whatever that is. But it's more than money. Okay. So, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? When you're all done, and maybe you do want to retire when you're 55 or 60 or 65, and that's great if you want it. But what's the legacy that you're going to leave, to your employees, to your family, to your progeny, to your customers? So that's what motivates me, is I have a purpose, and it gets a little bit harder the older you get, waking up every morning. There's more things that hurt on your body, and it's just getting a little bit harder. And the most discouraging thing is my golf ball doesn't go as far as it did when I was 29 and 39 and 49. So that's really what's bugging me a lot at this age right now. So anyway.
That's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. And
there you go. You go.
In a scramble, I'll take care of the drive. You got the rest though. Very kind words. Thank you very much. Our family is forever very just in debt to you, obviously, and the company. We're so fortunate. The advisors that are listening. That was an intense couple minutes. My gosh, I'm sorry. I'm kind of taking off here.
Sorry. I get very emotional when I think about InsurMark. I mean,
I get it.
In this space, 40 years, nobody's around in 40 years. There's less than a handful of us that have been around for 40 years. So there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason. So other than God's grace, there's got to be a reason. So,
and that's also to where the relationship all of us here at InsurMark formed with you and your family. And that's also to the purpose. There's so much experience that InsurMark has gone through, and you've seen, and you've weathered through the storms, and we're really on not even the peak of the mountain. There's so much opportunity. I mentioned yesterday at the when I was chatting in front of everybody, there's so much opportunity that InsurMark is going to have, our industry itself. And so that's why, with your experience, I wanted to roll out something new for advisors that are working with us, especially those in the Founders Club and those that are in currently the advisor mentorship program. So I'll lead us into it. You can talk. I'll talk about it, but you can chime in if you'd like. But what we're going to start doing is, I've had a lot of requests from my advisors about wanting to pick the brain of Mr. Kerns, or to learn more about just running a business, successfully selling a business, continuing to be in the business he sold. So there's a lot of history in InsurMark, but there's really a great story with you and Becky that a lot of my advisors would love to hear more about. So later on this month, starting February 21st, we're going to actually have our first Q&A with Mr. Kerns. He's graciously granted us an hour. We'll see if this can be a quarterly thing, but I have had some requests to just be able to pick your brain outside of the events and so forth. So a lot of guys and girls are looking forward to that. Any thoughts so when this airs, that's going to come up in about 2 weeks. So that'll be on the 21st. So just reach out to me. And if you'd like to attend that, we're just going to have one question amongst the advisors that are joining. So it'll go an hour, a little Q&A with Steve, and Jeremy will be narrating. But yeah, I think that's something that advisors really, really, truly value is the people they're doing business with. They want to know more about the entity and also the people behind it.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it with you. So I'm clearing my calendar, one day every quarter to do that. Excited to get to talk to your advisors and part of the problem when you have grown to our size is back 40 years ago. I mean, I was, 10, 12 hours a day. I was talking to agents and advisors all day long. And then all of a sudden your little one-man show starts getting bigger and bigger. And you go from just talking to agents in Houston to having advisors in all 50 states. And so you don't get a chance to talk to advisors every day like you do, because they are your point-to-point customers. And so I'm looking forward to doing that with you, Jeremy. So thanks for actually wanting me to actually talk to your advisors. So that's nice. So appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity. And like I said, just feel free, advisors, to reach out to myself, especially for those in Founders Club, those that are doing the monthly calls on AMP. And we'll make sure to get you the right link for that call on the 21st. As we wrap up, Steve, any final words of wisdom, thoughts on this rainy day today?
Try to just first and foremost, try to always, as you're thinking about what you do for a living, what is your purpose in life? What do you do for a living? Try to always be a product fiduciary when you're selecting products. Don't be married to one product or one carrier. Do what's best for your client. Know that you're in business for a reason. You're there to serve people. And it's an old adage, when people find out that you care more about them than you care about yourself, they're going to do business with you, and they're going to tell other people to do business with you. So it's an easy business. It's a hard business, but it's easy when you put others first, and when you have a servant's heart and you think of other people first. It's also more rewarding as well. Even when you get those nice commission checks, it's just it feels good that you know that you're doing the right thing, that you're being a fiduciary, and you're taking care of people, and you're solving problems, and you're making people's lives better, not only in the present but in the future, for themselves and for the people that they love, their children and their grandchildren. That's an important mission when you really think about that. Think about, you're not only touching a present generation, but you're touching the next and the next generations beyond that. And when you start thinking about that, when you're driving in your car from appointment to appointment, or when you're out running errands or whatever, think about what you're doing. Think about what you're called to do, and then think about, why are you doing it? So, little philosophy from Steve Kerns. So anyway.
Well said. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Steve, for your time. Thank you to the listener for tuning in today. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite listening device to the Advisor Mentorship podcast so you do not miss any future episodes. And remember, in a world full of betas, be an alpha.